everybody, welcome back to my channel. You may or may not have noticed that my background is slightly different, and that is because I moved to a new apartment. Yeah, same basic bitch YouTuber white background. Oh shit. And I'm still kind of like settling in, so when everything's like ready and how I want it to be and perfect looking, I think I'm gonna do an apartment tour because I didn't do one of the last place I lived because I hated it there. So I am back again today with another video, and 'tis the season for story times, everyone's new favorite type of video, because it's like best friends talking to each other. Like, you guys are my BFFs. I'm talking to you, telling you all the horrible things that happened to me and all the crazy adventures that I've been on, and you get to listen to it and tell me how stupid I am in the comments below. Today's video is going to be a story time about all of the horrible, awful, horrible falafel dates that I've been on, and I've been on quite a few horrible dates. A lot of these were like first dates, so I mean, I have so many of these stories. Like, I'm the queen of online dating. I mean, okay. I was not so smart when I was a teenager because I wasn't very safe about like meeting up with people. I mean, like, I would just meet up with like everyone. I didn't care, like, even if they seemed sketchy. So don't do that. Sorry, Mom. Don't do what I did, because I mean, I probably should have died and been murdered and attacked so many times. And luckily I wasn't, but just be careful when you're... Why is my voice so scratchy? So just be careful when you're dating online. Okay. God, I'm so awkward. I haven't sat down in front of the camera in like, feels like forever. Okay, so let's start. So the first story happened when I was, I think, like 18 or something. I had this really old car when I was a teenager. It was a 1991 Dodge Dynasty, and I called it my Raspberry Oasis because it was like a maroon color. And I don't know where the Oasis part came from, but I just named it that. And it was really long and really ghetto and really old and really freaking old. And it was always breaking down. I met this boy online. Let's call him John. So John lived about 40 minutes away from me, and one night I wanted to go over to his house. Like, he lived with his parents and stuff, so like, I don't know if that makes it any better, but I was gonna drive over there, and where he lived, like the city that he lived in, was not like the safest place ever. It had like a little more crime, I guess you could say, than where I lived with my parents, and like, they were very overprotective when I was growing up. So once again, sorry, Mom, I just lied a lot, but she already knows what happened. So yeah, I just like, oh, I don't remember what I said to get out of the house, but I just took my car and I drove all the way over there. So to get to his house, there's like a river, and then there's like this huge casino boat, and then there's like train tracks. And so I was driving, and when I drove over the train tracks, it was like horrible. Like, whoever designed that should get punched in the face, because like, if you have like a crappy car like I did, like, you're not gonna survive that. Like, you're dead. So I was driving over the train tracks, like not even that fast, and I heard like, and then like I heard this big like clunking sound, and I could like feel my car like boom, and then I'm horrible at telling stories. And then so I heard like this really loud like banging sound, and in my car like felt like it was like fell lower to the ground, and then I heard this like really loud scraping sound, and I was like, and like, I had never had to use my hazard lights until that point, so I didn't even know where they were because the car was like so old and weird. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm dying. So luckily the train tracks were here, and there was a parking lot right here for like a grocery store, but it was closed because it was like 9 o'clock at night. So I like drove into the parking lot, and the whole time I could hear this horrible scraping sound. I was like dying inside. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have like AAA or anything then. I was back in the days of my beautiful flip phone that I had. It was red, and so like I didn't have like there was this giant metal coil hanging down, scraping the road, and I looked in the road and there was like this big scraping mark all the way to the parking lot. And I don't know anything about cars, so I don't know what piece that was, but I didn't know what happened. Like, my car was like super low, like low on the tire in the back. I later found out that it was like my back axle had like snapped or like broken off or something. So like, if you know anything about cars, like that's bad. So I was like, because my parents didn't know I was there and I didn't want to tell them because I thought I was going to get in trouble. You know, I couldn't just be like, oh my God, Mom and Dad, come help me. I'm over here in this town to meet this boy that you don't know. You know, like, I was like panicking, like, fuck, what do I do? So I called this kid and he was like getting a haircut or something. So like, he wasn't answering me, but eventually he picked up and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm in the parking lot. I don't know where I am. I'm by this store. Come help me, come help me. Like, my car is broken. I have a flat tire or something. I don't know what's going on. There's a piece hanging off my car. Come help me. So then finally, after like sitting in there with like the doors locked, like terrified for like a half hour, John comes with his dad and he was so sweet. Nothing bad about John because he was a nice boy and so was his family. So it was mostly just like the circumstance that made it a horrible date. So like, so his dad comes over and he like rips off the piece that was hanging down and they were like trying to figure out like how to fix it so that I could get it out of there. And then this guy, some random guy in a truck came by and he was like trying to give us advice and stuff and we're just like, I don't know what you're talking about, go away, like, we got it under control, dude, bye. Unless you are a tow truck driver, like, you don't want your advice, go away. And so I was like, oh my God. So eventually they get it to the point where I can drive it slowly. So I follow behind them and I drive to their house. And then I realized I have to call my parents. I don't know, I was so scared. And I called my parents and surprisingly, they were not that mad at me. I didn't get in trouble. I mean, I don't remember like how I diffused the situation, but they weren't that mad at me. Thank God, which was like a surprise because I thought they were gonna literally murder me, but they didn't. So I waited at his house, hung out with John for a little bit, and then my parents came, and then a tow truck came, and then it was all good. But ever since that day, I have had like PTSD when I drive over any type of train tracks or like any slight hill, because the front of my car was like so long that it would like smack down and I would always hear like the smacking sound in my car when I would drive over like a little dip or like train tracks. So even in like other people's cars, if they go too fast over a train track, I'm like, my heart stops because I'm just so scared. So that was pretty terrifying because I was like a little baby then. I didn't know how to do anything. Like, oh God, thank God for the cell phones. Like, what would I have done? Like, how did people survive in like the time before cell phones? Like, you couldn't go into a store. Like, they were all closed. Like, you just wait for some random stranger to come by that could kill you. So yeah. So yeah, John was a nice boy, and thanks to his dad, shout out for helping me out. They were nice people, but that was a horrible, horrible day. It did not teach me to not disobey my parents. I still used to go places I wasn't supposed to after that. But so yeah, I survived, yay. That's story number 1. I took this side out, be honest. Does it look stupid? I don't know what I'm doing today. So okay, so that was story number 1. And on to story number 2. I had been talking to this guy, let's call him Mark, online for maybe like on and off for like 5 years. Or like 4, okay, that's not right, maybe like 3 years. I first started talking to him when I was 15 and he was maybe like 19 or something. And he lived a couple hours away, like a couple cities over. And back then, for some reason, I thought he was like super cute. I mean, he had a nice jawbone, but that's, and like pretty eyes, and that's about it. He was like super trashy. Like, don't get mad at me, but like he was a juggalo. Like, I'm really, like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I'm like so mad at myself. Like, why did I think that that was acceptable? Like, sorry if you're a juggalo. Not sorry. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna fix my hair while I tell you my story. So I've been talking to this guy Mark, and off and on for a little while. And I was like very stupid when I was 15. Very, very, very naive. And I just loved that he would like give me attention and like send me flirty texts and stuff like that. Like I thought, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, you know, because that's like the most important thing when you're a 15-year-old girl. So we've been talking like on and off, and at some points he would like call me his like girlfriend and stuff. It wasn't like serious or anything. I knew that it wasn't really his girlfriend, but I just, you know, I liked the attention and I liked him, you know, calling me babe and stuff like that. Well, fast forward a couple years down the road, and we decided to finally meet up after all this time. So I'm like, okay, let's meet halfway between our towns. So we both drove to this like really small like farming town, and we met in the parking lot of an Aldi. And I remember he had a really awesome truck that I thought was so cool, but it had like Juggalo like stickers on the back, and I was like, oh, cool. It didn't really bother me then because I was young and stupid. Now I look back like, oh my god, I should have drove home. Like, what was I thinking? So I get in the car with him, and we like drive around, and we go get ice cream, and we're having a pretty good time. And we go for like a walk at this park and stuff. And before I know it, like it's nighttime, and I'm like, I don't want to go home. Like I'm having like a really fun time with him. Like he's just fun, and like I was loving like, you know, hanging out with an older guy. I thought it was super cool, and I'm like, I don't want to go home. So this is the part where you're gonna be like, Brie, really? Like, what's wrong with you? You're so freaking stupid, you stupid little dummy dumb. And so I was like, I don't want to go home. Like, what should we do? And he's like, well, you can sleep over. And little old me, I wasn't 15 then. I don't know how old I was, maybe like 17 or 18. And you might think that that's old enough to like know what you're getting yourself into, but I was really, really naive and dumb when I was that age. So I'm like, yeah, sleep over. So like I called my mom and I lied and said I was sleeping over at my friend's house. Sorry, mom. Every time I say sorry, mom, take a shot of something. Unless you're a kid, then don't take a shot. But I hope my mom's not watching this. So we went back to the Aldi parking lot, and I got in my car and I drove behind him, and we drove like 45 minutes to an hour like south to his house. And he lived with like his little elderly ill mother, and she was very sweet and stuff. And we got to his house, we went to bed, and he being a frisky young man with a young woman in his bed was obviously like trying to get it on with me. But I didn't want to. I was like, no, let's just go to sleep. Stupid, like, why? I mean, I almost feel bad for him because, like, I was, like, so stupid. I was, like, such an accidental tease. Like, I mean, not saying that, like, I owed him anything, you know, or anything like that, but, like I got in his bed. I'm like, okay, let's go to bed. And he kept, like, trying to, like, get it in. And I was like, no thanks. So eventually he let it go and we went to sleep. But he had to get up at like 6 in the morning and go to work. And this was still back in the days of the red flip phone with no internet. So I'm like, fuck, like, I don't know how to get home. Like, it's not the same going back. There's like highways and stuff. And so he like wrote me directions. And his handwriting was awful, by the way, because he was a boy. So like I snuck out of the house. So I didn't want to talk to his mom, so I snuck out of the house and got all my stuff and left, like maybe like at 7 in the morning, like after he left. So I was driving home, and I was like really low on gas, and I didn't have any credit cards or money because I didn't have a job then. So I only had some quarters and like maybe $2 or $3. So I went to a gas station by the house and I put in the rest of all the gas that I could get, and then I started driving home. I couldn't really read his directions, and I couldn't call him because he was at work. And so I was trying to figure out, like, fuck, like, how do I get home? So I was driving, and I missed a exit ramp or something, and I ended up having to go through this tollway, and I didn't have any money. I luckily had some quarters in the car, and that was it. So I had to pay, like, I don't even know how much it was, like $1, like $3 or something. That would be a lot of quarters. I don't know. I did have some money left, thank God. I paid the toll, kept going, and I'm like, there are no exits for like the longest time. I'm gonna run out of gas. Like, what am I gonna do? So, get out of my mouth. So, you know, like those like emergency like U-turn areas. Like, thank God there were like no cops around. I just was like, okay, I have to turn here. Like, I can't just keep going. So like, I prayed that there'd be no cops, and I quickly sped around the illegal U-turn or whatever, and I was fine. But then I ended up having to go back through the same freaking toll, and I couldn't just not pay it, because then like you pay it online or something, but my parents would know that I had been there, and I would get in deep shit for that. So I'm like, fuck. So I had to like use all the coins in my car, and I paid the toll again, and then finally I got back where I needed to be. Thank the Lord. Oh, and it was summer at this time, and it was really hot, and the air conditioning in my car did not work. So I was like so sweaty. I was drenched in sweat. I was so like tired and just angry and crabby, and I just wanted to get home, and I was like having so much anxiety, and I was so sweaty. And for the last like hour of my drive home, I was so lucky that I did not run out of gas, because my tank was on E. Like, I think there was like some magical power like watching over me that didn't want me to get my ass beat by my parents or like get stranded on the road. So thank you so much, teenager guardian angel, who protected me during all my stupid adventures. I'm like, holy crap, like my car's been on E for like the past half hour. Am I gonna make it home? Luckily, I did. I made it into my driveway, and I went inside and I took a shower, and I went to bed. And then I think my mom needed to take my car for some reason. Maybe she was gonna go get it something like checked out for me, so she put gas in for me, and I'm surprised that she even made it to the gas station from the house, because I thought I was a goner the whole way home. I'm like, I'm gonna die in a cornfield, my car's gonna run out of gas, and I'm gonna die. Like, and I don't think I had my phone charger either, so. But luckily, that red phone that I had, that thing could stay alive for like a week. Like, one time I lost it in the back of my mother's car, like under the seat, and it was on for like 4 days, and I finally found it, and like the battery hadn't even gone down or anything. Like, that was my iPhone, that thing would be dead. So I made it out of there alive, and that is just the beginning of the bullshittery that is to come from Mark. So apparently he had been like seeing this girl, well, this woman, like, I don't know, like a 30-year-old woman, and she had a son, and like they were like gonna get like married or something, or like they were engaged or something, and I had no idea. So a few weeks later, I was trying to talk to Mark through text on my phone during the break at school, and I was in college at this time, so I was just like sitting in the hallway trying to text him, and I remember like he was like being so mean to me. Like, I forget like if I was asking him like, why aren't you talking to me, or like, are you mad at me or something like that. And then I started getting like all these texts from these numbers I didn't know, who were like his friends and female friends of his like fiance that I didn't even know existed. And they're like, leave Mark alone, you little home-wrecking hoe. Like, he's happy with this girl. Like, he doesn't want you, you little slut, and like all this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know this bitch existed. Second of all, he's the one who was trying to fuck me. So, and I said no. So how am I the home-wrecking hoe? But at the time on Facebook, I had changed my name to Marina, because I don't know, I'm weird. I really liked that name, and I thought it was pretty, and I didn't want like certain people from high school finding me on Facebook, so I just changed my name to Marina instead of Bree. So like, I was friends with that guy, Mark, on Facebook, so his friends thought my name was Marina. Like, they thought my name was Marina and stuff, and clearly they didn't even know the story. And they're like yelling at me, this girl was like yelling at me, like telling me, oh, I'm a slut, and all this stuff, and I was just like, excuse me, ma'am, I'm a little shit. What I did was texted her back, and I was like, excuse me? I'm a 45-year-old woman. I just got this number yesterday, and I don't appreciate being called vulgar names by a little brat like you. I don't know who this Mariana is. Like, you know, I said it wrong to really reel in the fact that I didn't know who she was. And I was like, if you talk to me like that again, I will call the authorities or whatever. And then this little girl sent me a text. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, all this other shit. And I was like, what the fuck? But, so this whole situation I thought was so ridiculous. And at one point I remember Mark had sent me a text saying, like, don't bother me anymore, or I'll call the police on you for harassing my life. That's literally what he said, for harassing my life. And it was so ridiculous to me when he said that, because at that time, that was when him and all of his friends were attacking me out of nowhere, and I didn't even do anything. So I was just like, what the hell? So I was like sitting in my little corner in the hallway at school, like half like laughing hysterically, half like seething with anger. But yeah, I just pretended to be like a 45-year-old woman with children, and they left me alone. But I ended up making a rap video about it. There's lots of bad words in it, and it's kind of ridiculous. So maybe I'll include it. I don't know if I should. I don't want you guys to like thumbs down this video, because you probably will when you see it and hear it. But at that point in my life, I was like super into like making raps to like let out my feelings. So me and my sister made a video about it. But so maybe I'll insert that. I don't know. So what I have to say to you, Mark, is you're a dick, and so are your friends. And I'm glad I never slept with you, and you had a weird penis. So peace out. Okay, I am, and Alexa is me, and we're going to reenact exactly verbatim what happened. Okay, here we go. Hey girl, wanna have a secret relationship?
But don't you love your girlfriend?
Yeah, but she doesn't have to know.
I am a Catholic, not a floozy.
I am me again, and this is what someone sent me. Okay, here we go. Bitch, I'm gonna tell you one time, and one time only, leave my girl's man alone. He don't want you, ain't ever gonna want you. You ain't shit but a hoe, and everybody knows that. Happy, quit trying to be a little home-wrecking hoe, or you're gonna have some problems with me, bitch. If I have to tell you again, I'ma get someone your age to whoop your nasty trick ass. Delete his number and forget about him. Just like every guy you hook up with does to you, slut. Peace. And then I responded with, I'm a middle-aged woman married with children, and I think you have the wrong number. And this is what was sent. I don't think so, bitch. Is this Marina? And don't lie, 'cause you scared I got your number straight from oh. And then I lied some more, and they're like, oh, sorry. And then 5 hours later, I get a message from saying, WTF is your problem? Why do you got to go and cause drama with my relationship? You need to just leave me alone before I have you arrested for harassing my life. The end! Those were two of my absolutely horrible, no good, poo-poo dates, I guess they're dates, that I've been on. Horrifying. A lot of it had to do with my car, actually. Maybe my car was like, no, I don't want to say my car was bad luck, because of all the horrible things that happened when I was in that car, like, it saved me. I was okay. So maybe it was good luck, actually, but I don't know. So those are two of my stories, and I have a lot more. I have so many more, and they're so good and juicy. And if you want to hear them, just thumbs up this video, and I will make part 2, maybe even a part 3, I don't know. Just give this video a thumbs up, comment your feelings down below, don't be mean to me, I'm delicate, okay, don't be mean. And subscribe for more story times, because oh boy do I have a lot of those. thank you guys so much for listening to me rant. I hope that I have been somewhat in focus for this video. If not, I'm really sorry, and I will see you guys in my next video.